Okay, welcome back. Thank you for checking me out. And thank you for all of the follows on X and all of the views of my last episode. Wow. Mind blowing explosion. And my cat is over here saying hello. Hi, Mo the Chonk. You can, yeah, I don't know if the mic's picking them up or not, but if you want to follow him, he is on Instagram at Mo the Chonk. Yes, he is awesome. Anyways, before I get started, as you saw in the title, I have a story about heroic kids. And this whole episode is I'm going to get into the story of how this episode evolved. But men and women who are tinkerers, please stick around. I want your help, and I want your help to help others. This is kind of going to be interactive in this episode, so I'm going to want your help in the comments on my YouTube. If you're listening to audio somewhere else, go over to the YouTube and post in the comments later on. Stick around. If you're a tinkerer, if you know how to work with your hands, if you woke up this morning and you still have grease under your nails from whatever the hell it was you were working on yesterday, yeah, stick around. I want your help later, and it's going to be for the kids. All right? Just stick around. Okay, before I get started, speaking of tinkering, I have a quick ad I'm going to get into, and I'm going to show pictures and stuff. There's a friend of mine. She is awesome. That's right. I said a she. She is a tinkerer and a legit artist. If you are interested in, again, guys, stick around. Men, I'm talking not just guys, men. Because ladies, she does bake all sorts of jewelry, resin jewelry, wire jewelry, earrings, necklaces, and such. But men, she also takes all sorts of old stuff and repurposes it into amazing new stuff, as you can see on the screen right there. If you go over to her Instagram at From A to Z, that is From AYE, the number 2, ZEE, or Etsy.com/shop/From A to Z, the same spelling. Again, the links you'll see up there. They will be down in the description. Anyways, on her Instagram, she has all sorts of cool videos and way more photos. There was a little tractor she made. One of the wheels is like a gear, like a sprocket or something. Amazing stuff. So go check her out. Like I said, on her Instagram and on Etsy at From AYE, the number 2, ZEE. So that's From A to Z. Check her out. She's local here in Connecticut, and she does custom work. So hit her up. Send her a DM. And if you do, let her know I sent you. Cool. Okay, this first story happened this year in April, late April, I think around the 22nd or 23rd, around there, April 20 in 2026 in Hancock County, Mississippi. Now, this is the only story I am going to be doing in this episode because I wanted to do something fun and a little lighthearted. And again, I've been thinking about this for a minute. I wanted to do this. So after this article, again, heroic kids here. So in late April of 2026 in Hancock County, Mississippi, 5 middle school students from Hancock Middle School worked together to safely stop their school bus and help their driver after she lost consciousness from an asthma attack. How terrifying is that? You're on your way, you're on the school bus, and all of a sudden, why is the only adult here asleep? Okay, the driver, Leah Taylor, was transporting about 40 students on her usual route shortly after leaving campus on a 4-lane highway. 4-lane highway. She suffered an asthma attack, tried to reach for her medication, her nebulizer, or inhaler, if you're fancy. Actually, no, nebulizer, if you're fancy. Anyways, but she wound up passing out at the wheel. The bus began swerving and rolling forward, gaining speed. How freaking terrifying is that, man? 40 kids on the bus. The driver, a medical emergency, 4-lane highway. Let's see here. Okay, what the students did. These kids are freaking heroes. These kids deserve to be put on blast in an awesome way. As captured on bus surveillance video and reported consistently across sources. I saw the video. I saw it on X. I know I shared it. So back in late April, if you go over to my X account at Eric Not Sorry, it's there. I know I shared it. It's badass. Okay, so and I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just stupid and words are hard. Jackson Casnave, 12 years old, 6th grader, seated behind the driver, noticed the swerve, jumped up, grabbed the steering wheel, and steered to keep the bus under control. Jackson's 12. That was super quick thinking. Darius Clark, 12, 6th grader, hit the brakes to slow and stop the bus, reportedly steering it towards a median. Darius, badass. Kaylee Clark, 13, 8th grader. Darius' sister called 911. Way to go, Kaylee. Destiny Cornelius, 15, 8th grader, saw the driver holding her medication and helped administer it. Destiny, you saved her life. Hero. Mackenzie Finch, 13, assisted with the driver's medication, also saving her life, and alerted the school district, noticing the driver's phone was ringing. The students also helped keep the other children calm until first responders arrived. Dude! I mean, think about it. 40 kids. Think about what the woulda couldas, right? So many woulda coulda shouldas. Not shouldas, but crazy. No one was seriously injured, and the bus came to a safe stop. Taylor made a full recovery and credited the students with saving her life and everyone else's on the bus. Duh. That's dude. She thanked them personally the next day. The 5 students were honored as heroes at the school pep rally and received recognition. For example, a celebratory lunch. Principal Dr. Melissa Saucier, I'm going to say Saucier because it's fancy, praised the children's character and quick action. Amazing. Like I said, hero kids. First thought that came to mind, nobody was up with their camera. Oh my God, look, I'm going to totally Insta this while we die. No, they didn't. Also not mentioned was demographic outside of the age. Didn't matter. If you watch the video, black, white, all mixture of kids worked together. It didn't matter. They were all heroes regardless of all arbitrary nonsense. These kids are awesome. You guys saved lives that day. I don't think y'all understand the gravity of what you did. I honestly don't think you do. One day you will. You will, one day. Perhaps when you have kids and something crazy happens and you'll look back at, holy crap. Yeah, then you'll get it. But you guys are heroes today. That is just freaking badass. So Jackson, Darius, Kaylee, Destiny, and Mackenzie, y'all right. Y'all awesome. Y'all awesome. Y'all awesome. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to get into, which is why I wanted the handyman, handywoman, and tinkerers to stick around. We all bitch, us Gen Xers, we're bitching a lot about the younger generation, right? They're on their phones too much, and their music sucks, and their AI, and okay. I'm guilty of it, too. I know. If you've watched me at all, I do it, too. However, the younger generation is giving me some hope, a little bit. I'm noticing more and more of the younger generation wanting to tinker with things. So by tinkering, I mean building stuff. Whether it's simple like a birdhouse or just changing a light fixture or whatever. Something simple. But then perhaps their parent, perhaps a single parent, not judging, doesn't have tools or the knowledge on how to assist. For instance, I had dinner recently with a friend of mine, and she was telling me her son he's in his middle teens, and he's showing interest on how things work and fixing things and taking things apart, put it back together. And she's like, he doesn't have a good role model on who knows how to do that stuff. And she's like, I need stuff in the house, how to fix stuff, but I don't know what to get. And so my mind started going. This is where I started thinking. Because recently, last year, after my stepfather passed, he was a tinkerer, and he had a lot of stuff. At that time, And still to this day, my other friend's son was showing an interest in tinkering. So again, my wheels started going. And while we were there, I was like, you know what? There's stuff here that I need. There were some wrenches and sockets and whatnot that I needed. But I'm like, you know what? This kid over here, instead of sitting making TikTok videos and wearing a dress, he's working on a dirt bike. He's changing the chain on his 10-speed. He's learning how things work. And he doesn't have much to work with. So I was like, you know what? Hey, go grab that bucket. Grab this, grab that, grab this. I already have one of those. Put another one. Just started giving this kid all sorts of just here's I don't know, 7 screwdriver, whatever. Just to get him started. Just to start him off. And so I wanted to come up with a list, which is where I want your help, of everyday stuff that every household should kind of have. But again, if you're a parent and you don't have the knowledge of how to help your kid, okay, let's help them out. Let's get these parents their learn on to help get their kids their learn on. So some of the tools I came up with, just average, ordinary stuff that you can get. The first thing I already mentioned was a bucket. Buckets are great. Buckets can be your toolbox. You can carry shit in it. Does your basement flood? There's your bucket. You can, it's going to take a minute, but you got something. Also, you can, flip it over. It's a stool. It saves your back when you're hunched over changing oil on a dirt bike, right, kids? Also, when in a pinch, you can flip it over and fill it with your stool. That's right. I just made a poop joke. And it is true. Also, again, toolbox. Get yourself a legitimate toolbox. Doesn't have to be a $3,000 roll away. Just something, you can store shit so mice don't poop in it. Okay, here's another one. A drill. Cordless. Preferably 2 batteries with 1 charger. Don't go uber cheap, but you don't on all of this. Because, again, hand tools are expensive. And I'm going to get into that at the end. Again, another thing I want you tinkerers to stick around for. Because I want help too. I want to help people that need help with this stuff. But you don't have to go top of the line. You don't have to go get a $700 cordless drill, but don't get the $20 one. Just don't. Especially if you're trying to nudge your kid in the right direction. No. Save up a little bit. That's probably going to be your most expensive thing. The thing that goes along with the drill, is drill bits. I preferably get the ones that drill through metal because then they'll drill through damn near everything else I'm looking to do. Not concrete. Obviously, that's special, but drill bits. But things people don't think about. Screwdriver tips that you can put in your drill so you can save your wrist. And extensions with magnetic ends that you can put those tips in so you can reach for things. Simple things most people never even think about. Yeah, I know. If you can't find them on somebody's website, just somebody in the store will help you. Don't be embarrassed. Just ask questions, because the dumbest question is the one not asked. Safety glasses or face shield, definitely. Drill bits do snap. Screws do fall off of stuff. Okay, screwdrivers and hand screwdrivers, flatheads, Phillips. Get a number 1 and number 2. And that's not a poop joke. They're sizes of screws, if you're not aware. Because drill batteries die, and if you can't afford a drill, at least you can still put a screw in. Okay, how about a 16-ounce claw hammer? You can nail in nails and take them out. Giggity goo. Socket sets. You don't need something that's like $150. A small one, get yourself like a 15-piece? Standard and metric, because we do things weird here in America. Same thing with Allen wrenches. Get one of those little foldy sets. They're inexpensive. Wrenches, the open-ended box end wrench, same thing. Standard set, metric set, inexpensive. Don't get the entire set that's like 100 pieces for $4.99. $4.99. Don't buy that shit. But again, you don't need, where it's 10 wrenches and they're $90. No, you don't. You don't have to go there. But get something that, you can use more than on 3 bolts before it breaks. Okay. Tape measure. You got to be able to measure shit. Notepad. Pencils. Pencil sharpener. Even the one that you can use on your mascara that works, it still sharpens a pencil. Because you're gonna have to take notes and write shit down when you measure stuff. Okay. Is there anything else anybody could add to that list? Any brands you would recommend? Let's not start the Milwaukee DeWalt wars. Okay? I'm talking budget-friendly stuff. Okay? Budget-friendly. People starting out. And here's the other thing, because I said tools are expensive, so you tinkerers out there, where would you recommend to someone who is looking to literally start from scratch with their toolbox, or start their kid out with their toolbox, to save some money on hand tools outside of sales at the big box stores, right? The local stores, they got sales, right? Where else would you recommend? Some of the things I think of is like flea markets. I know I see tools sold at flea markets, usually at discounts. I'm also going to do a quick PSA on that. Let's see. Tag sales, garage sales around town. Like, literally, like my stepfather, I mentioned earlier, if we were to do a tag sale, there would be tools out there. You can get stuff relatively inexpensive. You can double up on things. For the price of a brand new one, you might be able to get 3 or 4. It's... also oil, lubricant, because stuff that has gears in it, like, certain... oil's good. But where else would you recommend? Let's see. Let me look at my notes here. Where else do I have? Secondhand stores. Like, I'm assuming maybe some pawn shops or something out there. But when it comes to drills, like cordless drills, again, budget-friendly stuff, guys. Sorry, I need to fix my chair. Okay. All right. Stop spouting. Poor posture. Anyways, what would you recommend as a budget-friendly brand for a cordless drill? And when it comes to secondhand stores, would you recommend staying away from the battery-powered stuff, or have you had good luck? Are there places you recommend? If so, share the information. Also, are there channels on YouTube or people, websites that have very informative videos on how-tos that break it down, where the beginner can understand it? If so, post a comment, post the link. Help everybody out. Now here's the PSA. For those of you that are doing garage sales or flea markets and you are selling tools, or even local mom and pop shops, but I'm not leaning on you too heavy, but I'm talking to people that you know who you are. You literally bought a bucket of tools for $10 and you know you can flip it for $1,000. Okay, if you're selling stuff and a kid, 12-year-old, 14-year-old comes over and they kind of seem to have an idea, a little bit of knowledge of what they're looking for, ask them some questions. Hey, kid, what are you looking to do? What are you trying to fix? Listen, interact. Look around. You know your inventory. You know what you can still make money off of. Help the kid out. I'm not saying give them everything. No. Make the kid pay you money for stuff, of course. The kid will earn pride in that. I bought this. This is my hammer. But then throw in something else. Do you have a couple of screwdrivers that don't match a set? Throw that in. Why not? I mean, are you really going to make a nickel on them or a dime? Come on, help the kid out, right? If the kid's showing legit interest, help them out. And the same thing with this, like the secondhand stores. Well, I'm not saying you have to or you're a douche if you don't, but if you can, why not? Again, garage sales. I really don't want to sell Dad's set of, socket wrenches, but you know what? I'll give it to you in here. I'll throw in this too. Why not? Hey, kid, want a bucket? Yeah, give the kid a bucket for free. Throw the sockets in there. You charge him for the sockets, here's a free bucket. Boom. You just made the kid's day. Also, here's the other PSA. Especially, this is more geared towards the Gen Xers out there. We remember what it was like trying to learn from our adults, right? Damn it. I'm still learning. This coffee kicked in. I'm really jittery. Sorry. Some days it was kind of a pain in the ass, right? Dads, sometimes moms, but we all know, I know I'm painting with a wide brush here. I dealt with the guys, and some days they were ornery as shit, right? You're just trying to learn. You're asking questions, and they just want you to shut the hell up and get out of the way. And it's frustrating, right? Don't be like that. Let's face it, the boomer generation is aging out. And I'm not saying that to be mean. It's being realistic. Some are passing on, but they're retiring. Many, right? So Gen Xers, we're next. We're at the top of the supposed industrial food chain, if you will. So when we're out there bitching about the young kids on their TikToks and their music and get off my lawns, when a kid is showing interest, have some patience. Have some patience. Listen to their stupid questions because you were there too. I'm still there. I'm still learning every day where I work. I'm in an industry I've never worked in before. Every day I ask the same dumb questions. And I know they're dumb because I just get the look. You know the look. I still get it. And I laugh and I go, yep, I knew it. Okay, I got it. Listen, answer. Listen to the question and answer. Have some patience. They're going to drop stuff. They're going to break stuff. But at least they're showing interest. They planted the seed. Water it. Help them out. And kids, those of you that are showing interest, show the same respect. When someone is showing you something, don't look at your freaking phone. Because then you will get an attitude and you will be told, if you're not going to pay attention, go in the house. Which is fair. Because we don't have time for that. We don't have time for distractions because, like you, we want to get back to doing nothing. We want to go back to playing video games or having beer, putting our feet up, scratching our, well, you know. So the sooner we get the task done and done right, the sooner we can get back to doing nothing. So if you're going to hinder us, get out of the way. But if you really want to learn, pay attention. And please, do ask questions. Bring a pen or pencil and a notepad. Write down notes. Nobody expects you to remember everything. So you don't expect yourself to remember everything because you're not. Write notes, ask questions. Everybody, please have patience with one another. It's all a learning curve. But feed that knowledge. Pass it on. They're not on their phones. They're not doing a street takeover, right? They're not being douche canoes. They're curious on what you're doing with your lawn tractor. Show them what you're doing to it. Help them out. If anybody has any kind of tools, ideas, questions, post them in the comments. We're all in this together. I wanted to make this episode that's not political, not it's just humans helping humans in this episode. That's all I wanted. And I wanted to help let's talk about helping the younger generation. And if anybody knows who Mike Rowe is, send this to him. That'd be cool. But I love Mike Rowe because he supports the trades. The younger generation, for all of us, we all know we were always told, you got to go to college. You're never going to get a good job if you don't go to college. We were all lied to. And many of you, let's see, if we're Gen Xers, you're probably grandparents? Your parents, if not grandparents. You see their generation going, yeah, college is a scam. And that's why people like Mike Rowe are pushing the trades. Go to trade school. If you don't go to trade school in high school, when you graduate, don't go to a 4-year college. Go to a trade. What trade? Pick one. Pick one. They're all great, and they're all in stupid high demand. Pick something. Architect, drafting, carpentry, electrical, HVAC, plumbing, welding. Pick a trade, man. IT. data centers, AI, IT. Need power to do that, right? Electrical. You need water for that stuff. Plumbing. Nobody wants to work in a hot office. You see where I'm going? High demand. High demand. Get your kids in the trade. If they're learning how to turn a wrench, help them out. Help them out. All right. I'm going to wrap it up there. Again, give my good friend a shout over, or give her a check out over on Instagram at From A to Z. Again, also on Etsy /shop/From A to Z. That's From AYE, the number 2 ZEE. Give her a check out there. So thank you all for checking out this episode. Give it a like, share, follow. You can follow me on X at Eric Not Sorry, and on Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast, and yeah, all that other good stuff. Okay, until next time. All right, be cool.